Well, guys, it's that time of year, and it's time we review the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the absolutely amazing parts of 2024 here on the channel. Let's check it out. Guys, this is a video I've been excited to make all year. First of all, if you don't know who I am, my name is Joe. I run this channel called Shooting Gallery here on YouTube, and we also run the Shooting in the Woods podcast and the Pewmongous podcast over on Rumble. I make gun content, try to do how-to tutorials, try to do builds, try to do general review content, some educational content. That's what we do here. This year, I was a little bit bold, and I set out, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, link down below. I posted an Instagram photo in like January, February, around the time where everyone's on that new year, new me bullshit. I took it as an opportunity as I'm calling my shot. Everyone talks about shooting their shot in any walk of life. And this year, I wanted to shoot my shot. I wanted to make it known what I had planned for this year. I was fortunate enough to work with some awesome companies like Anderson Manufacturing, which that's probably been the most one of the most beneficial companies and friendships I have in the industry now, next to Bear Creek Arsenal. Those two companies have been nothing but supportive, and it sucks that I can't be at SHOT Show for many reasons, because I would be at those booths selling those products, because I truly 100% believe in those companies. I also decided things needed to change on the channel. So I kind of want to go over some of the things I talked about in that list. I always consider this list like, for you pro wrestling fans out there, when now current World Heavyweight Champion Cody Rhodes left WWE and he went on the independent circuit, he put out a list of the top independent wrestlers he wanted to face, because now he was free and clear. I did that. That was kind of what I took into effect when I did this list. So my first thing was I wanted to post every single day, whether it was a short, a video, a live stream. I was doing that pretty consistently. Midway through the summer, I was like, I can't do it. Posting every single day is so tough, whether it's a short, video, a live stream. And I do want to talk about the live streaming for a second. We used to stream the Shooting in the Woods podcast on YouTube. Halfway through the summer, they came out with their new, but actually in May, they came out with those new live streaming rules and new content rules. Terms of service got updated. And we couldn't we couldn't even talk about companies that make videos possible, whether it's a sponsorship ad or talk about companies sending products direct. It's hard to even direct people that watch these videos to, whether say Brownells or whatever, if they want to get something if they want to get something after watching a video that we all make. Yes, we do get a cut. That's what affiliate marketing is. Their terms of service got upgraded. So now I was like, that's not going to worry. As you guys know, the Shooting in the Woods podcast has 3 sponsors. And I run sponsorship ads on them. My podcast got taken down, and I actually I didn't get a strike, but I kind of got my PP smacked, which then caused me to go over to Rumble. And Rumble, I've said since day one of this change, it was the most beneficial thing I could have ever done. The following we're creating over on Rumble is phenomenal. Live streaming is fun over there. We can show guns on a live stream. We can talk about guns. We're not censored over there. So if you do me a favor, head over to Rumble. I'll have a link in the description. That's where you can get all the podcasts now. That was a huge step. And one of the things I wrote on the list was stream to Rumble and Player more. Player, I like the concept, hate the execution of the platform. Rumble is so much easier to use live streaming wise. Player, same thing. It's a great concept. I've tried to stream to Player, and it is a pain in the ass. And just out of pure convenience, I don't really do that much over there. The next thing I want to do is I said I want to grab two more podcast sponsors. As you guys know, Aegis Gun Care has sponsored my podcast was the first sponsor, and we've worked with H's Gun Care. You use code JoeJuice, you know what to do. I love Rod and Shelly over at H Gun Care with all my heart. So I decided I want to get more sponsors. I want more people to get their eyes on the product, and I want more people to promote companies that support me and companies that are good American companies. I was fortunate enough to pick up my first sponsor was Liberty Bell Firearms. I had never been so happy to be working with a Cerakote company and laser engraving company. Jay Bell, Liberty Bell Firearms, is a true artist. We had him on the Shooting in the Woods podcast. Go over to Rumble and check out the replay of the interview we did with Jay Bell from Liberty Bell Firearms. Use code JoeJuice. You save a ton of money. Go check them out. I was so happy when we signed them on. And then we also were fortunate enough where Fat Tack came along. Guys, fattack.com, that's where you can get all of our exclusive merch. It's a one-stop shop. You can't deny the designs they have, the merchandise they have. You can get plate carriers, lights, holsters, medical gear. You name it, they got it over there. It's designed for bigger people, and it has been amazing. I love the guys over at Fat Tack. They are like my brothers, all right? They signed me to do merchandise through them, so that's why my merch shop is there. And I told them I wanted to be the first influencer on that page because, again, they're like family. So we do have some designs over there. Check them out. They're also the second sponsor we picked up. I am so happy that we have the sponsors we do on the podcast. It's really awesome. I also want to pick up an audio, get into a more audio platform. I'm working on that. I'm not a tech geek. Then one project that I have, I'm not going to go into full detail, but we did have an SBR project. That is still, that is in limbo. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into it. I'm waiting. That's all I'm doing. I'm waiting. And that's all I can say. I said I want to do a 320 video project. Didn't do that. I decided to do a 1911 project. With help from Brownells, the BRN 1911 frame. I didn't forget about that project, guys. I broke apart and things happen. I have the part on order, and now I have to figure out a way to get it, I have the tool I need. That is going to be like numero uno project this year, going into 2025 to complete, because I love Brownells, and I wouldn't have this channel without them. So I want to thank them personally. We had Pete Brownell on the show this year, which was by far one of my favorite episodes of the Shooting in the Woods podcast ever. Like, was one of my favorite shows I ever did. Check it out. Go to Rumble. I believe it's episode 242, I believe. Please check that episode out. It was very informative on where Brownells is in the industry and what they plan on doing. Just some other stuff. Planning on doing this. I said I wanted to attend GunCon. I wanted to attend the Gathering, TriggerCon. I was lucky enough to attend the Gathering. That was a very fun event. If I go next year, I will post about it. I had a fun event. I got to hang out with Josiah, meet him personally finally. Josiah was gracious enough to include the Wall of Shilling, a Palmetto State Armory flag, and he is one funny dude. PSA does amazing work, and they're coming out with some pretty cool guns. I got a chance to try out some other guns that I've never shot. I've always wanted to. I think my favorite gun I shot from the Gathering was probably the Archon Type B that PTR is putting out. That gun is awesome. I really enjoyed shooting that. And the Jackal and 300 Blackout. That was pretty cool. I didn't go to GunCon or TriggerCon. I had an invite to GunCon through a couple of creators and John Patton. He always said if I ever want to go, I'm more than welcome to go. I wanted to collab with other creators. I kind of did that. Hank Strange came on a video. Obviously, we do collabs on podcasts, but I didn't really do a lot of collabs this year, which I'm hoping to change next year. And I wanted to find a permanent gun range, and I did. I'm fortunate enough now to where I actually shoot not that far from me. If you guys are in the Southwest Florida area, they don't pay me for anything. I just like to promote them because they are absolutely phenomenal people. It's an amazing range. The RSOs are awesome. It's Guncraft in Ruskin, Florida. If you're in the Southwest Florida area, check them out. It is a phenomenal gun range. Super nice people, and I can't say good enough things about them. So I was able to secure a gun range. Let's get into kind of the podcast side of it, because we do the videos. We've done some really cool projects with all these different companies. Let's talk about the podcast and what we had plans for this year. In terms of the Shooting in the Woods podcast, having to move to Rumble was a big gamble on my part, and knowing that pretty much all you guys that are watching this video or watch the podcast, you guys come over to Rumble. That meant the world to me, because I do this podcast, one, because I enjoy it, but also because you guys enjoy it, and I want to thank you. It means so much to me that almost, I want to say, a good 80% of my viewers have come over from YouTube to Rumble to still listen to the Shooting in the Woods podcast. Now that we get to hold guns on a live stream and we're not having to watch what we say, sponsorship ads can play, it's all good things. And I'm super grateful that Rumble has kind of opened their doors to a lot of the two-way friendly firearms content creators over to Rumble, and they're not being, pigeonholed. Yeah, Rumble, a lot of political stuff people go there for, but a lot of firearms content creators are finding some success with Rumble, and we are one of them. So I don't know if the guys at Rumble listen to this or will ever see this, but thank you. I set out on a pretty hefty shot shooting podcast guest list dream match. And I think out of everybody on this list, I didn't get anybody. But we had some awesome guests this year. We had Anderson Manufacturing, we had High Point Firearms, we have Dave from High Point on. We had Dave Saylor from Liberty Suppressors. We had Anecoic Suppressors, which I'm doing an unboxing video today on that particular gun. Just came back. 3 days for the tax stamp, guys. That's awesome. 3 days. Golden era of suppressors. Yes, the NFA is completely unconstitutional and you shouldn't have to tax a right, but that's the world we're living in, and until something happens in Congress, we can't do anything. But it's the golden age of buying suppressors right now. I set out on a list of, I wanted Kevin Brittingham from Q, #1. Still waiting on that one. Still waiting. Also, I'm terrified to send a DM because I don't want to seem like a mark. All right, I don't want to seem like a fanboy, because I love Q. I love Q products. I think they're some of the most innovative guns in the world, and I've always been a fan of their design and their marketing style. I've always loved it. If I knew machining work and engineering work, they would have had my resume before I moved to Florida. I wanted Foxtrot Mike. Sent some emails, never heard anything back. Harrington Arms, I think I should be able to get them on. Canic/Century Arms. Okay, SDS Imports. Again, they're a huge company, I understand. Ruger, I tried, was unsuccessful. Tandem Cross, I probably can still get them on. USPSA, Tyrant CNC, Jim Fuller, all three of those, nothing. Heritage Arms. I love Heritage revolvers. I'm still working on that, which I think if I get a chance to talk to the guys at Taurus, which is their own, they own Heritage, I might be able to. So I gotta reach out to my buddy 28EDU, because I know he's got contacts over there, and I still want to get the guys from Heritage Arms on, because I love the Rough Rider. I love their guns. They're super fun. And then the 4 big ones that I have been wanting to get on the show since its inception: IV88, Military Arms Channel, Dan the Firearm Guy, and Such. Talk to Such. He will come on the show. I just got to keep on with him, because he's, again, over 1 million subscriber channel. Such is super nice. Every time I see him at an event, he stops and we talk for like a half an hour. He sees my Instagram. I don't know if he watched my YouTube channel. I have nothing but good things to say about Such, and he's always super willing to have a conversation with me. We'll get him on. Eric, IV88. Homeboy, again, is super busy. I don't expect a lot of these channels that are over 1 million subscribers to answer my DMs. I don't expect that. Eric said he'd be willing to come on the show. Am I going to press him? No, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry that has a gun channel on YouTube or podcast in the firearms industry is blowing him up. Met Eric many times. Nothing but good things to say. Always takes time to talk with me whenever I go to IV88. Phenomenal guy. Military Arms Channel, same thing. Busy guy. Dan, the firearm guy, I had a chance to actually have a conversation with this year. Big thanks to my buddy Smash Time. Actually, no, I did do a collab. I want to go back on that. I did a collab with Smash Time, and we did a ammo haul video in Houston at an Academy Sports. That was super fun. Me and Smash Time had a nice little lunch date, and it was a fun time. So big shout out to my buddy Smash Time. Go check him out. He's doing awesome work, and one of my favorite channels I watch. And he's a close personal friend of mine. But yeah, I talked to Dan, and he wants to come on the show. I just got to get a schedule. He just moved, so I have Dan, the firearm guy, lined up, and we're gonna get him on the show. So out of all those, one of them I pretty much had, but the schedules didn't line up. But we have confirmed like he'll come on the show, and that's Dan, the firearm guy. Yeah, didn't do anything, but at the same time we had some great guests. I tried to stray away from content creators because they're my buddies, but like once you cycle through all the content creators, it can get boring. I'm trying to make this. I try to make the podcast always new and exciting for you guys that watch. We're always gonna have Dark, Rich, Crump, Night Strike, Walter, Safety Harbor Firearms. They're always gonna be probably a constant. But we had some other cool people on the show this year. We had, like I said, those three companies, Pete Brownell, we had Mitchell Defense, we had, obviously we had Palmetto State Armory on the show. We had a couple other really cool companies that came on, but we also had Gamage. My buddy got Gamage. Check him out on YouTube. I can't stress that enough. Jay Weth. We had Johnny B recently. He came back on the show, and it was kind of a retrospective. He called me the high point of gun tubers when I first started, and now I have been upgraded and promoted to Palmetto State Armory of gun tubers, which I hold that very near and dear to my heart. So we've had some pretty cool people on, and you know what? Next year, I'm going to put out a list. 2 or 3 people on this list will still be on the new 2025 goals list. Make sure you're checking out the Instagram. Guys, 2024 was awesome. I changed jobs. I have never been more happy knowing that I work at Safety Harbor Firearms. It has been my dream job. I wake up every day smiling. I don't have any stress. Something's always new. And the fact that I literally get to build 50 BMGs for a living. If you don't like that, you're a communist. So I can't thank Walter at Safety Harbor Firearms enough for giving me the opportunity to learn under his knowledge tree. I don't stop learning, and that's what I love about it. It's one of the best jobs I've ever had, and it's my career now. Like I absolutely love it. So that was probably the biggest thing outside of doing YouTube is the job change. There's no way in hell I'll ever move back to Mass unless something serious happens to my family member, but living in the Sunshine State, especially in 2024, it was phenomenal. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm not gonna go on so long and do all this new year, new me bullshit that a lot of people do, because I'm still me. But I get to shoot all the fun guns I want now. And doing content is what I love to do. And it's still fun for me. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This past year has been amazing. Let's try and hit our 5,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year. As you know, we're going to be taking a 2-week break on the podcast and probably most content. So this week that you're watching this video is going to be pretty content heavy because I'm actually going to be flying home for Christmas to see my family, and I'm going to be kind of radio silent. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be rebuilding the channel, rebuilding the podcast. So make sure you hit subscribe, get notified every time a new video like this goes live. Follow us over on Rumble and Instagram, all that good stuff. And if I don't talk to you guys now or the last show of the year, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Spend time with your family and loved ones. Stay safe, stay shooting. I'll see you guys next year. Peace.